countdown begins as we are 3 months away from the FIVB Men's Volleyball World Championship here in Metro Manila. That brings us on to this Alas Invitationals inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We bring you our doubleheader beginning with Hyundai versus Thailand, and we follow this up with Alas Pilipinas, the home squad, taking on Jakarta from Indonesia. Well, this is the beginning of our trial run for the World Championships, and yes, we will welcome in Jun Sol Bay, the youngest setter of his squad, taking on, of course, the eldest among this Thai present inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum. These two will square off in our first game for the Alas Invitational. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Collins at your service alongside Noreen Go. And Noreen, aren't we so happy to be welcoming in 3 teams from different countries as they take on Alas Pilipinas in this single round robin?
Yeah, for me, what a year 2025 is for the men's volleyball. We're so excited. And, you know, this Alas Invitationals, we're lucky that there are 4 teams that are playing in this tournament. Preparation, you said, for the World Championship. So a lot of great volleyball ahead.
Let's break down these 4 teams. To be specific, of course, we do have Alas Pilipinas, 2 club teams, and 1 national team.
Right. We have Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, Thailand national team, and Jakarta Bayangkara Presisi. So to join Alas Pilipinas. So again, so excited for men's volleyball.
These are formidable club teams, of course, from their respective countries. So it's going to be one big test for our very own Alas Pilipinas. Let's talk about the team of Hyundai. They're called the Capital Skywalkers, and this is a team that has really succeeded a lot in the past year for Korea.
Yeah, 10-time champions of the Korean B-League. But what we heard is they're fielding in a younger roster. But we heard the kids are all right, so we expect a lot of powerful and great action from this young team.
And as we know, Korea is among all of the 4 countries represented in the Alas Invitationals. Korea is number 1.
Yeah.
Among all the 4. Number 26 sila sa buong mundo. And so we're going to expect greater things from this team. Let's talk about their team captain, in Tae-Jun Jong. He's actually a starter as a young guy in this team of the Skywalkers.
Well, what we heard was he was plagued with injuries, but he is healthy, he is a captain, and he will be relied and looked upon by this young squad.
So, we actually got to talk to this young man, Tae-Jun Jong, before this game. Try to get his thoughts coming into the Philippines and coming into this invitational tournament.
일단 강팀들이 많이 있기 때문에 저희는 결과보다는 좀 더 많은 걸 배워간다는 목적으로 경기에 임하겠습니다.
The participating teams are really strong teams, but it doesn't matter about the results. So it's just a matter of what we are going to learn during these matches.
제가 듣기로 필리핀에서 배구가 유명하다고 들었는데 그 인기도 한번 체감해보고 싶고요. 또 많은 관중 속에서도 한번 경기를 해보고 싶습니다.
I heard that the Filipinos loves volleyball, and during the matches, I expect there's gonna be a lot of fans, and I'm so excited to play the volleyball in front of the fans.
필리핀 팬들이 보면서 저희 경기에 이제 많은 관심을 좀 가져주셨으면 좋겠고, 그리고 또 저희 경기를 보면서 또 많이들 재밌어 하셨으면 좋겠습니다.
First of all, I just want them to enjoy our volleyball and to change the aspect about the Korean volleyball skills and styles.
안녕하세요. 현대캐피탈 소속되어 있는 주장 정태준이라고 합니다.
There you have it, Tae-Jun Jong. As he mentioned, he's been a starter for the Skywalkers team, and we have great expectations for him in this matchup that he has versus Thailand, who has a couple of talented middle blockers as well, by the way. Now let's talk about that national team of Thailand. This is a squad that we have seen time and time again play here in the Philippines, of course, as a representative of their nation. We've been rivals with this squad in the SEA Games, and they're putting in, of course, the best of the best in this tournament.
Yeah, for the fans, especially in the Southeast Asian regions, you know, these are familiar names. They were the champions of both legs in last year's CV League. So you said it, they're a very strong team, and the fans excited to see them play.
And of course, one familiar guy is still Sawai, the middle blocker, who of course has been with the team since the 2010s and this guy has been well honored by Thailand.
Yeah, he is a fixture in this team, and we're sure and excited to see him play, even if he's 33 years old.
Let's see if he can match up very well with the young middle blocker starter that we talked about a while ago from the Skywalkers. We'll be back to begin things with Hyundai versus Thailand.
Araneta Coliseum, Quezon City, Philippines for the Alas Pilipinas Invitationals Tournament 2025. Match number 1 features the battle between our club team from South Korea, Hyundai Capital Skywalkers Volleyball Club, and their opponents, the national team of Thailand. Introducing the 2 referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Jeffrey Lopez, international referee. Second referee is Angelo Hao, international referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for Hyundai Capital Skywalkers Volleyball Club. Outside spiker number 9, Lee Chae-yoon. Middle blocker number 10, Kim Jin-young. Center number 20, Lee Chun-yup. Outside spiker number 23, Lee Seung-chun. Middle blocker number 31, Chong Tai-jun, team captain. And opposite hitter number 87, Park Chu-yong. Starting libero number 17, Lim Seong-ha. Head coach for Hyundai Capital Skywalkers is Fabio Storti. And now the starters for Thailand. Opposite hitter number 3, team captain Amuntep Kongan. Middle blocker number 5, Kisadan Nilsawai. Another middle blocker number 7, Tupatit Praput. Setter number 17, Bunyarit Wongton. Outside spiker number 22, Anurag Panram. And another outside spiker number 26, Chaiwat Tungkam. Starting libero number 14, Tanapat Charunsuk. And the head coach for Thailand, Park Ki-won.
We begin things for the Skywalkers of Hyundai Capital taking on the Thailand national team. And there you see the starters for Hyundai Capital. Of course, they are being led by their middle blocker in Tae Jun Jong, the guy that we talked about a while ago. The tallest man among these Koreans taking on the tallest man among these Thais. We talked about that man, the legend himself, Kisada Nilsawai. He will be starting things alongside number 17, Bunyarid Wongtorn, who is the reigning best setter of the Thai League. This is our first game for the Alas Invitationals inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The league will happen from today up until Thursday, so just short, a single round robin. But of course, this is our preparation for the World Championship this September.
Yeah, well, we have to say Alas Pilipinas actually has a pretty busy schedule. It starts off with this one, the
Yes.
Invitationals. They go to Bahrain for an ABC tournament. Then they will play in 2 legs of the CV League. Then the World Championships.
And it's
You
not
wanna
yet done
mention-
after that.
You want to mention their pool.
The pool, yeah, we do have Iran, Tunisia, and Egypt
Yeah.
in the pool with Alas Pilipinas for the World Championship. Of course, all of them are ranked higher in the world rankings as of this moment. But home court advantage
Right.
might just be, the difference for us come September. It is already 1-0 in favor of Thailand. A push by Hyundai. Thailand attacking from the opposite. No point there from number 3, Amorthet, their captain. And the drop works on the other end for Hyundai.
Yeah, very smart. If you're playing against tall blockers, you see Kilsawai is actually there. You want to play it, not challenge him too much. You want to drop it. So smart tip there from the Skywalkers.
I love the name, by the way.
The Skywalkers.
Skywalker, of course, the Star Wars fans ourselves. And now it is a service ace from number 23 in Lee Seung-jun.
But you love that, they fielded a young roster. Obviously, they want the kids to gain more experience in the international scene. So imagine, years from now, it's going to be a really strong team.
It is an average age of 25 for the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. There's just one outlier here, and he actually is starting for Hyundai. He goes by the number 87. That's Ju Yong Park. And recently, in the league that they were champions at, the V-League at Korea, he was listed as an assistant coach. He is 38 years old, but he's a part of the starting unit as they get a point courtesy of Jae-Yoon Lee.
We also have to mention the head coach of the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, Philip Blaine. That for the fans of the VNL, they know that he was the coach of the Japanese national team, and he propelled that program to the great heights. So, he's a well-known coach. But their assistant coach, the Italian coach, actually is calling the shots today. He's Fabio Story.
Yes, that's right. So it's all about experience gaining for these Hyundai Capital Skywalkers as we get to see the replay of this Thailand point from the open. That's number 26, Chaiwat Tongkam.
He got fingers there to actually change the trajectory of that ball.
Nice block by Thailand. Jaeyeon couldn't get it to drop. Neil Sawat will set things up for the opposite, and that will be a point for Amarthet Konhan.
Yeah, the southpaw. And we know him to have a lot of power in his hits. He goes for it, and again, he hits it off the blockers.
And reminds me of Drix Avedra from the FPU Camaraos in the UAAP. 4-3 Thailand. That is a service error from the legend himself in Kisada Nil Sawai.
He has gotten an award from the king.
That's right.
You have to mention that.
It's a royal decoration from the King of Thailand. There's actually a longer title to it. We'll get to that later on. Let me just get our data once again. Strong service there. Received well. That's why Thailand was able to activate the middle blocker.
Very athletic middle blockers for Thailand. But we have to say, because they are the national team, a lot of people are saying they're favored in this match, but these youngsters from the Skywalkers will give them a run for their money.
Unfortunately, there is a possession of fault among these Skywalkers. There you're seeing the standing head coach right now of Hyundai in Coach Fabio Storti. He is Italian, and he's been an assistant to Coach Philip Blaine since last year. Oh, a service ace straight onto zone 5.
Misread there. It was that fast. When you look at the slow-mo, you think it's okay, it's gettable, but in real time, it was just...
That's the slow-mo.
Yeah, it was really fast.
This time it is long for Amarthet Konhan.
50-50. He'll take it, an ace and an error.
There you see Coach Park Ki-won, who is Korean by descent, and he's going up against his country, representing Thailand in this matchup.
It is what it is.
Oh, that's a service ace coming in from Jae-Yoon Lee.
Lee Tae-yun scores an A.
Boy, if you talk about the average age of this Korean team at 25, I mean, they are so talented. Can you imagine watching the Korean national team?
Oh, yes. I mean, the Hyundai team in itself, they're champions. And this is what, their second, third unit. Chance ball here for Thailand. Amontep is rejected emphatically.
That's a wall. It looks like the two tallest from the Skywalkers, and you expect a lot of those monster blocks. Well-timed, great form.
Seongjun celebrating accordingly as they tie things up at 7.
Well, blocking, if you're looking at the roster of the Skywalkers, blocking should be a strength.
Seongjun, another crack at it. Got a hand. It's put up by Thailand. Back row hit. And there's one of their MVPs, number 22, Anurak Vandram.
That's smart. That's smart from Thailand. Acknowledging the fact that you have a tall front row from the Skywalkers from Korea. So you want to have these combination plays, and that set to the back was a smart one.
Lead back with the ties. That's an overset. Straight outside.
I think that's one thing. That those errors will happen, but that's one thing that when they stabilize, when they, channel their emotions to the positive, you won't see a lot of that.
Well, it's just the first
It's
half
just the
of the
first.
first set, which normally we say it's the warm-up time for the players. Middle hit. How about that? You mentioned the athleticism of that little blocker. Tupadit Fraput delivering again.
Yeah. But great setting, great setting from Team Thailand.
You give credit to Bunyarid Wongtorn. As I mentioned, he's the reigning best Thai setter. Actually, a wonderful story with Coach Fabio Storti. He started as a statistician in Italy back in 2002. So he really worked his way onto, having a stint like this. He's been an assistant coach in Bulgaria, Poland, Czech Republic, Italy, Estonia, and Korea before having his second head coaching stint in this invitation.
It's been around. But that's what you appreciate about, the progress of volleyball globally, is they welcome,
Yes.
Coaches or personnel from different countries. They just welcome that, and it changes, the program of a particular country.
Makes you also think that our evolution is basically relative to one another because we learn styles. We even apply them to our local leagues.
What I'd like to say really is, aside from the styles, it's really the ethics, the work ethics that you get, especially, let's say, from the Japanese, or the
Yeah,
Koreans.
the basics, fundamentals also. As we just got to see another point from Anurak Vandram. Vandram's not the tallest, but he was the best player in the Thai League last year, named Most Valuable Player.
Yeah, but I was looking at them, the Thai team during warm-ups. They're not the tallest, yes, but they're so athletic.
Yes, they are. Their average height is 6'2". That's 2 inches shorter than the average height of the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers.
6'2", 6'4" on the other side. You're going to see a lot of that come the World Championships in September.
It is now 8 serving 12. That is Jin Yong Kim. Tough setup. D-ball.
Oh, what a dig.
Opposite now. Not much power there. And here's the counter. Oh, same attacker, different result. Amontep will score.
Yeah, he is the go-to guy. You're right, no? Like Drix Saavedra of FEU. And he has been deadly for Thailand.
Good way for him to get retribution after being behind a while ago. 13-8 now. We're back with the athletic middle blocker, Tupadit. Sending it in. Back row. Wow. That's a literal Skywalker for you. Number 9 in Jae-Hyun Lee.
Well, they have that in their arsenal. If they can get better passing, they can actually have their own combination plays.
Pretty hard to guard that one. Lead down to 4. Hyundai has been playing catch-up since the beginning. Nice block. Coverage present. This time it is a little blocker denied in Quesada. And the counter, unfortunately, sailed outside for Hyundai.
Well, they will challenge. They were already celebrating.
Ironic because it's their most celebrated point, and yet it's the one that did not go their way initially. But the call has been overturned. So we have Joo Young Park serving.
Yeah, they will reverse the call. I think at this point there's no challenge yet, because that was easily supposed to be challenged by Skywalkers.
Back row. Oh, that went onto Coach Fabio Storti, obviously outside from Thailand.
But that's one thing about the coaching staff, really, again. They're so used to those hits.
Let's take a look at it. It's a body shot. Yeah, it was like nothing from Coach Fabio. Oh, overcooked that one. Anurak with an error.
Oh, this is a run by Hyundai Capital Skywalkers.
Thus a timeout. This is called by Coach Park Ki-won. Back inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum, there you see Coach Park Ki-won. As you mentioned, he is Korean, taking on Hyundai of Korea. But this is also a coach who's been all around the world. He was head coach in Italy for 2 decades, Noreen.
Wow.
1982 to 2002. And then he served in Iran for 4 years before going back home to Korea for 14 years. He's been the head coach of Thailand after the pandemic, as now it is a monster hit from the middle blocker himself, Quesada Nilsawai.
Yeah, that's what the fans have been waiting for. The 33-year-old. We have to mention, because we are at, with the way he's playing, nowhere near that number of 33.
So that gives us the opportunity to give the actual award given to him, the Royal Decoration, a silver medal from the Most Admirable Order of the Direct Gunaborn. There you have it.
That's huge, because we were told that that award, that particular award or honor is given to people who rescue.
Yes.
Right? Who rescue, like, the survivors of certain catastrophes. So, yeah, I mean, they must love him.
It is now a service error coming in from Hyundai. That's Seung-Jun Lee.
That's what you don't want to see. It was a great run for Hyundai, and then they commit the service error.
The run was 4-0 before the timeout called by Coach Park Ki-won. The ball, cross court, dug up by the setter. Amorntep goes back row. Tough dig. It's chased and put up by Joo Young Park. And a chance ball for Thailand. They send it back.
Good dig.
No point for Quesada. Drop. And it's dropped down by the blocker. Quesada with a point.
Well, Hyundai is actually complaining of something, maybe a net call, but there will not be. So Thailand gets that point.
Make it 16-13 now.
It's a good response by Thailand. You know, I mean, the lead was actually cut to 1.
Can they continue? Nice blocking. Back set. And how about that? Talk about responding. The Skywalkers trim it back down to 2.
Yeah, some great setting. Also, the side of Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, you really need to like split the blockers. So you want to keep, you know, setting far right side, left side.
Setup job was done by Jun Yub Lee. This is their captain. Service in for Tae Jun Jung. Dug up by Coach Ju Young. And the back row hit. Got a touch. That is a point for Seung Jun Lee.
That was a 3-man block put up by Thailand, but not a problem by Lee.
15-16. Hyundai just knocking on the door behind the Thailand national team.
Yeah, they're keeping in step with the Thai nationals. Whoa!
Was that a sharp serve? Was it a lucky serve? Either way, it's a point.
It's a point. It's dribbled across the net.
And just like that, we're back to square one. Deadlock at 16. The biggest lead of 5 has been erased by the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. There you see Quesada Nil Sawai, a 7-time Thai League best middle blocker. His libero is number 14, Tanapat Charonsuk, the eldest, the most veteran among these Thais at 34 years old. They're looking to give us some redemption moments here in set number 1. Let's see if they can grab the lead back. Back from the open, that's put back. Nice blocking by Jin Yong Kim.
Yeah, a bit of hesitation there by Thailand, and that made all the difference.
See the replay. How about that? Kim just had to reach for it, and he did.
That's a perfect example of better late than never, and he got the block.
The lead is now with Hyundai, the first lead of the match, but it is erased by that service error.
Well, these are painful service errors. You know, that was the second one. The first one, they were already down by 1, then the service error. Now they're up by 1, then the service error. What a contrast.
Substitution. You have a service specialist in for Thailand. Anut Promchan. That was sharp. Just above the tape of the net. But then again, the counter was a lot better for number 23, Seung Jun Lee.
You really appreciate the talent. The contact with the ball, it looks like he was hitting from the front, but nope, that was from the back. And it sounded so crisp.
Yes, it did. Freezing the defense of Thailand at the back. Second taste of the lead for the Capital Skywalkers. The setter, Jun Yub Lee, setting that in, straight onto an ace.
So here come the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. You know, you did mention they were chasing most of the first part of the first set, but now I think they've gotten their bearings here in this game.
It's a 6-point swing for these youngsters of Korea. Wow, what a serve. But then again, the reception was excellent, leading on to that middle hit by Tupadit.
Where the middles have been on point, but not often gone to, right? They're more reliant on the wing hitters, but when they go to the middles, that's when they're successful.
Tough receive and an easy drop. That is for Thailand's Chaiwa Tongkam. Only had to raise his hand up.
But you don't want to see that in international play. These overpasses are like 99% of the time short points.
19 all is the tally, and now it is a service error by Anurak Van Ram.
Well, this is a close set.
Nice start for us in this invitational.
Yes.
This will only happen for 3 days as our preparation for the Men's World Championship come September 12 to 28. The ball, a lot of power from team captain Amorthep Conhan.
You're talking about the crispness of a contact. He has that. And he's very comfortable from the back.
Yes. Open hit, blocked by Thailand. They're getting back onto their groove.
Now, we saw a lot of smart tips there by Korea early on, but this time they chose to challenge the blockers. Thailand just obliged.
Well, Hyundai has gone to Seung-Jun Lee a lot. He's their leading scorer with 7. Recently shut down by Thailand, as now the Skywalkers will get a point back off of that check ball.
He did admit to that. Was a late call, but the correct call.
21 all now inside the big dome. There's the leading scorer of Hyundai. Now we go to their setter, Jun Yub Lee, the 24-year-old. Made it short on his serve.
Oh,
That's an MVP type of hit from Anurak Van Ram.
out of system set there and not a problem. Just, you know, the smarts, the volleyball smarts, just hitting it off the blocker.
There's a saying, when in doubt, check it out.
Check it out.
And now, check out the middle blocker returning for Thailand in Kisada Nilsawai. The other middle blocker would be serving now as the sub did not push through. So Prasert Pincao will remain on the bench, and this will be Tupadit Fraput.
Well, the referees, we know that throughout the different tournaments that they're very strict with protocols. Slight delay, they will not allow the substitution.
Middle blocker on the other end responding, Tae Jun Jong.
Boy, he is such a tall player, you know, if he gets to that. Look at the contact. So he's what, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
6'7".
Freak. He's 6'7", and the reach and the jump. 6'7".
Better get used to that type of height here in the Philippines, as now the 6'2" guy, Amorthep, will score once again. So he's up to 6 points now here in set number 1.
Yeah, he has been the go-to. That's what we have noticed here in this first set. They try to go to the middles, but you know, if just playing it smart, they go to Amorthep.
It is 23 serving 22. Full front row for their setter. And that's out. Went straight onto the linesman. An error committed by number 9, Jae-hyun Lee.
You know, we have to say it's the errors actually of the Skywalkers.
We have 2 set points now for the Thailand national team. Let's see if Hyundai can still give us a deadlock with 2 straight points to extend set 1. But that block will end the set courtesy of Kisada Nilsawai. Working well with Amorthep.
There was Or there is your answer. They needed only one set point and a great stop at the net.
Set one for the captain of Thailand. He leads his team in terms of scoring, able to neutralize the production of Seong Jun Lee. Set number one belonging to the Thailand national team against the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers with a score of 25-22 wrapped up in 25 minutes. Once upon a time, they had a 5-point lead erased. Hyundai even grabbed the lead against the Thais, but then again, the veterans of Thailand were able to get the ending very well. They won it.
Yeah, they made the right stops at the right time. But for the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, you have to say they have to check their errors. When you watch the first set, you can see that they are pretty good. You know, evenly matched. It was close at one point. Yes, they were chasing, but they grabbed the lead. But it's the untimely errors.
Yes.
That's really, you know, the 1 and 2 points in such a close match. It really makes all the difference. If you look at the attacks, 14-10 blocking. Actually, they just got a few blocks towards the end, right? And then aces. But I would say really the errors. Even if it's just by one, you felt it towards the end because that was when these errors actually happened.
We'd like to welcome in the One Sports viewers out there, also to the ones watching on One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Thank you so much as we bring you day number one of the Alas Invitationals, our preparation for the FIVB Volleyball Men's World Championship this coming September 12 to 28. So we are exactly, or at least near 3 months away from our prestigious event.
Yeah, and we appreciate really these teams taking time out to send, you know, a delegation for the Alas Invitationals because we really need it in preparation for actually the year 2025 is again a very busy year for the men's volleyball.
This team of the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers recently had their first triple crown in Korea. What do I mean by that? They won the two most prestigious leagues, the KOVO League and also the V-League, but winning the regular season of the V-League also is treated as a crown for them.
Okay.
That's why it is a triple crown. So that's one of the effects of having Coach Philip Blaine lead your squad. This is only their second or third unit, you know, put here inside the Big Dome, but they did give us an impressive set number one, even though they lost to Thailand. They will open up set number two with a back row hit.
Yeah, saw a lot of that in the first set, and those are the successful hits. So yeah, I mean, it's points to ponder on. You know, where do we go? Who do we rely on? Although everybody has to be a threat.
That was Jae Yun Lee who got the point. That's his fourth in this match. He is their second leading scorer behind Seong Jun Lee. Thailand answering quickly.
One thing we're noticing for Gil Sawai really is he's just playing it smart. You know, it's not full power. He's just powerful, you know, but it's not full power. He's just making sure that it's sharp. It's a point for Thailand.
Makes me think that's one of the factors as to how he's able to play up until now at 33 years old, being already a legend in Thailand. As the middle blocker on the other end responds, there's the captain of the Skywalkers, the 25-year-old Tae Jong.
And the height.
Both 6'7", by the way. Tae Jong and Kisada Nilsawai.
I was curious of Quesada's height. So 6'7".
Also, yes. They're both the tallest in their respective squads.
You know why it's I'm surprised because they're playing like they're so athletic as well. They're agile. Sometimes if you're really tall, you're slow, but not these tall ones.
Well, the agile guy just scored again for the Skywalkers. Tae Jong activated early here in set 2. They have the lead 3-2.
Well, he was plagued by injuries, what we read about him. But in that last tournament, he was healthy.
He was a starter.
And they won the title. So, I mean, I'm sure he's pretty excited to be playing international competition.
A big responsibility, though, immediately for him. From being a part of the starting unit as a 25-year-old onto now being a captain of your squad sent to the Philippines.
They need to mature quickly.
This is the captain on the other end for Thailand, Amortep Konhan. A service error from him. The captain's trading service errors.
Yeah, pretty slow start here in the second set.
Coach Park Kiwon, a bit unfazed at the sideline. He is a veteran after all. He's been doing this for almost 5 decades now.
Amazing, huh?
Junior Lee, short serve. And the reception went straight outside.
You see the communication of the Skywalkers, really. Some of the players were about to attempt, but I heard somebody scream and then he let it go. So that's the way. You have a better vantage point. That's the way when we talk about how important communication is.
Yes. Make it 5-3 now. This already matches the biggest lead in the game for Hyundai, but Thai continues to respond.
Very basic volleyball for Thailand there. Just, setting to the wing. One-on-one is not a problem.
Down the line target for Chaiwat Thongkam. That's his 4th point. He's the 2nd leading scorer of Thailand. Back row hit. And that went down onto the side of Thailand.
Well, the pipe attack working well for Korea.
That is the leading scorer of Hyundai with his 8th point now in the game, Seung-Jun Lee.
Just overpowering the blockers there.
Nice block coverage by Chaiwat. Bit of a miscue from Thailand onto that middle counter. And now it is Anurak finding a hole at the middle.
Challenging the triple man block of the Skywalkers, and he just gets it through.
Anurak Phanram, I mentioned, is the MVP in the Thai League. He was also the MVP in the ABC Nations Cup back in 2023.
When you look at him stand beside
Nilsawai.
He looks so small.
Yeah. Those two, by the way, are the 2 MVPs in this roster of Thailand. Pretty impressive, I must say, for a middle blocker to be an MVP.
Yeah. It's like he doesn't allow balls to go through or
Yeah.
pass him.
6-all. Off the deflection. It's a drop. Still read by the Skywalkers. And Coach Ju Yong was denied.
Remember, they had 3 blocks in the first set, but the 2 actually came towards the end. So they're starting out early here in terms of net defense.
Phanram was credited for that block. He's up to 5 points in this game. Open hit, that was low. Easily blocked.
of the defense of Thailand actually, right? Slowing the pace of Korea after a
credit
strong,
to
yeah.
Bunyarid Wongtorn for that block. 8-6, a 4-point swing by the Thais. That defense still there, but this time it's checked out by Lee Jung-jun.
Yeah, smarter hit there. Good angle, just hitting it off the blockers.
He's up to 9 points now in this game. And by the way, you know, for players like Lee Seung-jun, this is practically a tryout as well for them. You always say that once you're given an opportunity because their usual stars, Leonardo Leyva and Yosu Bong, are not present here. They're the best players in their local leagues. And it's yet another point for Hyundai.
Yeah, we did say that Korea actually fielded a young team in the last Invitationals. Also, you know, chance for the veterans to rest after a busy season.
The ball dug up very well by Jae-hyun Lee, but it's a chance ball for the Thais. They send it onto the middle. Mil Sawai will deliver.
Again, just so precise. You know, his precision is remarkable. That's why he's how many time MVP.
9-8. Thailand with service. Bunyarid Wongtorn, their setter. And that's going to be a point for Coach Joo Young Park. It's different when they celebrate for him.
Yeah. Oh, you have to say great set. Look at that, just one blocker. That's how you split the blockers.
Right. All smarts for the 38-year-old. Play that short. Mil Sawai saw an open hole.
Yeah. Well, he is 6'7", like you mentioned earlier, so he has a good bird's eye view of the court of the Skywalkers.
And you mentioned he's not forcing anything.
He's
Doesn't
not.
have to power through with it. All of his shots. Love the speed there on the approach by Seung-jun Lee.
Wasn't the best of first passes, but look at this perfect setup.
And all now in set number 2. Seung-jun Lee now at the back. Ball up. Oh, Mil Sawai responding again.
They're going more to him here in the second set, and why not? This time you heard it. You heard the sound of that contact. He added more power.
He's now up to 6 points in this game, tying the leading scorer of Thailand in Amartep Monhan. Did that go back onto the Hyundai attacker? Yeah, it's gonna be overturned. That's a block point for Thailand.
Yeah, the ball did touch the hitter there.
We have a timeout for Coach Fabio Storti. Back to the game as we come back to you live from the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We have a couple of fans present supporting the Hyundai Capitals Skywalkers and the Thailand national team. Later on, our very own Alas Pilipinas will go up against Jakarta Bayangkara Persisi representing Indonesia. So we have 2 of our opponents usually from the Southeast Asian Games, Indonesia and Thailand present, and Korea, of course, a prominent volleyball country from Asia, also well represented. Unfortunately, that previous attempt of Jae-hyun Lee was blocked by Thailand.
has stepped up, in terms of net defense and running the middles.
Neil Sawai gives us a service error, but Noreen, I mentioned he already has 6 points. He has 4 blocks in this set alone.
Crazy numbers.
What a set 2 for Quesada Neil Sawai.
Yeah, and you did mention you don't often see a lot of middle blockers getting the MVP plum. And he's showing us, okay, because this goes with a middle blocker. This is my resume.
Yes. That's off the block, point for Jae-Hyun Lee.
Yeah, they're hitting there. There was a 3-man wall, but look at the angle.
Got it off the right arm of Amortep Monhan. Jae-Hyun Lee now up to 5 points in this game. Service error. Very untimely once again. And that is already service error number 3 from Daejun Jung.
And it wasn't really a strong jump serve, It was a floater. If you're a coach, you don't want to see those.
Is it becoming a mind game now for him in terms of his services as Seung-jun responds for Hyundai?
Again, great setting on the part of Hyundai because, again, the blocking was working well for Thailand, so you have to get the back people. The pipe attack, the left and the right.
That's the 11th point of Seung-jun Lee, by the way. 14-13, a tighter set number 2 for us. Nice block.
Good cover.
And a chance ball of the ages for Hyundai. They send it to the right. And the coach, Ju Young Park, will deliver.
It was a fast push, actually. It was a spike, but it was more of placement and catching the defense, still scrambling.
2 players got tangled up for a bit there. Ju Young Park saw an opening. Just had to maximize the opportunity for himself. Deadlock at 14.
What a serve.
Oh, tough dig. Set onto the other end and an easy ball for Chaiwa Tongkam.
The irony of that point, it's the weakest hit so far, but that's the one that got the point. So it is what it is. A point is a point.
15-14 now. Tongkam after scoring. Middle hit, dug up by Tongkam. He sent it left.
Oh,
that was short.
Well, that's what you want to see right now from the Capital Skywalkers. You want to see their blocking. If you look at the front row, a very potent and tall front row. You got to get those monster blocks.
$15 There was a split second there when we thought that the ball could have still gone through.
I thought you were going to say that the ball had a mind of its own, but decided to stay in the side of the Skywalkers.
16-15. Tupadit Fraput. Wow. Was that a punch on the ball?
It was a strong serve that landed out. But if you're Hyundai, you have to realize Neil Sawai is in front, so you got to try to get some stops.
A chance to get the lead for Jin Young Kim and company. Not like that.
Well, you can see the contact. I mean, they were trying to target Neil Sawai. But yeah, it was too short. They have to get the serves in.
17-16. Punyarid. Put up by the libero. Off-speed hit. And it worked. Great counter by Seung-jun Lee.
Yep. Smart. And you see, they're actually learning how to counter this veteran squad from Thailand. It's not all about power.
This is some nice investment being made by the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. who of course would look to repeat with their Triple Crown next year in Korea. And Lee finds the back.
Now, don't look now, they have the lead. Again, like the first set, slowly but surely, they're keeping it close.
Junyo back onto his leading scorer. Makes it 13 markers now for Seung Jun Lee. It is 18-17 in set number 2 in favor of the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. They are representing world number 26 South Korea against world number 60 Thailand.
26.
That's South Korea, but as a national team.
60. Yeah.
60 is Thailand. Philippines is 59. And Indonesia's at 53. Down the line target, and that's not going to be successful for Anurag Van Ram.
And you saw his reaction, if he could just have that back.
Hyundai feeling a lot better here in set 2.
Well, let's see how they protect this 2-point advantage.
Yotsuwai again as the target. Oh, that's outside. Almost made it.
Well, he's human after all. He can commit errors.
Timeout now. Thailand calling for it. There you see the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers with their Kovo title won in 2024 to 2025. That's a part of their Triple Crown, of course, with the V-League title as well, winning it in the regular season and of course in the championship. Congratulations to them. And that is Zone 1, met by Anurag Van Ram.
Yeah, great response off the timeout because they were down by 3. And if you're Thailand, you know this is a young squad from the Capital Skywalkers. You don't want to go to like 4 or 5 sets.
Yes. 4-0 run, snapped. Lee to get it back. Oh, he's denied. It's been the story of set 2 for Thailand, their net defense.
Yeah. But they really expected that. Look at that. A very well-established 3-man wall.
This time it's Chaiwa Tongkam getting the block. That would be his first block point. Oh, power hit from the wing.
Yeah, great set. Creating that one-on-one opportunity, and they take advantage. Again, the same question. How are they going to protect this 2-point lead?
Well, not like that.
Not like that.
These have been untimely service errors from the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers.
Yeah, we saw that in the first set, though. You're just hoping that they should have learned by now.
It's the usual sickness of a young squad. Back row. Oh, miscue. And it's a point for Anurag Van Ram.
It is evident, really, the familiarity of this Thai squad. That was a broken play, but still, they turned garbage into gold. 3-man block.
No problem.
No problem. It is tied at 21.
Virtual race to 4 in set 2. Junyo back sets. Lee again, and he will prevail.
They needed that all-important point for Hyundai Skywalkers.
He is the go-to guy for these Skywalkers. 15 points in the game now for Seung-Jun Lee. We're back with their captain, Tae Jun Jong. He has struggled with his service in this game. Now it's safely in. Dug backwards. Seung-Jun centers the ball. And it's a chance for Thailand. They send it right onto their captain. That's a point for Amornthep Konhan.
Another hit to coach.
Yeah.
That's the second.
Yeah, this time it's the left arm if I saw it right.
Coach Fabio.
22 all.
Serve.
Off from his reception. That was a nice play from Jae-hyun Lee.
You know, Jae-hyun Lee is a smart hitter. We can see he saw the blockers and he angled that hit. Look at that. And then they need to hit it off the blockers, but it hit the antenna.
Puts him up to 7 points as the second leading scorer of Hyundai. 23-22. They now have scored more than their tally in set 1, but that's another service error.
But prior to that error, he has been serving well, but that's not what they need.
They have 7 service errors in set 2 alone. Talking about these Hyundai Skywalkers. That's outside.
Well, they trade service errors.
I thought it looked good though initially from Chaiwa Tongkam until it aired out. Now Chan Hong is in for Hyundai.
Obviously for defensive purposes, and they are serving for the set.
Jae-hyun Lee. Amornthep sent back. Now to the left. What a play by Thailand. The point by Anurak Phandram.
You know, in the men's volleyball, we see a lot of that. You know, those sets, they hit on the second touch. That looked really good.
My goodness, a thing of beauty
Yes.
from Chaiwa Tongkam finding his MVP in Anurak Phandram.
You know the beauty of that, because you catch the defense of your opponents off guard. You can see they didn't know what they're gonna do because that was the first ball, and then he said it already.
Now we have an extended set number 2, 24 all. Anut Promchan serving. Middle
Wow.
hit, straight down.
Well, second set point for Hyundai.
It's Jin Yong Kim's turn. That would be his 4th point in this game. And he will be serving for the set. 25-24.
That's a good serve.
It's short and low for Anurak Phandram, making it 26-24, set 2-1 by the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers.
Well, we talked about errors hurting the Skywalkers in set number 1. What about in set number 2? Thailand with their fair share of errors.
now are tied 1 set apiece. As we have gone through 15 minutes of gameplay, 25-22 in set 1 in favor of Thailand. It was an extended 26-24 win for the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers of South Korea in set number 2. So even though they're the younger team fielded here in the Philippines, they're showing us what they can do, Noreen.
They're just so impressive, we have to say, because Thailand is a mix of some young players and a lot of veterans. But this young squad, we did say at the top of the coverage and during the first 2 sets, has fielded a young team, the Hyundai Skywalkers. But they're really just, they're showing us how evenly matched these 2 teams are. And the difference really are the minutest of details. Let's look at the numbers. This time, you can see the attacks went the way of the Capital Skywalkers. Blocking, wow, that was 5-1, but great counter by Hyundai in terms of attacks, right? And the aces, errors. We did say the errors actually happened to Thailand towards the end. The hitting error, and we are tied.
Yes.
What do you expect? I mean, these kids from Korea, they just want to play.
And again, this brings us back to what we said about Korea being world number 26.
Yeah.
So even though they gave us a lineup of only 10 players, by the way, not many subs available for Coach Fabio Storti. They're being led by their captain, Taejun Jong, who's now on your screen. He's only 25 years old. One of their assistant coaches is actually playing. That's, how depleted they are in this unit. But they're able to bring down Thailand in set number 2. This is already the national team of Thailand, who is at world number 60.
Again, we've, for the fans, especially the fans of the C, the Southeast Asian division, these are familiar names and faces, the players from Thailand.
Amorntep activated once more. He was relatively quiet in set number 2.
They missed him, actually, because he was so active in set number 1.
Had 6 points in the opening set, only had 2 in set number 2. They have their setter now serving, Bunyarid Wongtorn. And that is long with a risky fall as well for Jae-Yoon Lee. But you gotta love the energy that we've seen from this guy lately.
Yeah. I mean, you love his serves also. So much potential, really. That it goes to show the program of the men's volleyball of Korea.
He's only 22, by the way. And now, his teammate Seung-Jun Lee, the 24-year-old, is denied by Thailand.
Thailand had 5 blocks, 3 in the first set, 5 in the second set, and they are getting straight to work here in the third set.
That's going to be the 3rd block point of Amorntep Konhan. Seung-Jun denied, and it's an easy draw for Taejun.
Just smart. That's when you want to see if you're a coach. The players aggressive at the net. If you can put the ball down in the first or second touch. Right? So smart. Quick thinking.
First point for Hyundai here in set number 3. Here's their leading scorer, Seung-Jun Lee, with 15 markers. Make it 16 now for him.
Service ace. They kind of check the problems in the service area. Talking about Hyundai.
He himself, Seung-Jun Lee, has had 4 service errors in this game. 2 serving 3. Another good serve. Amorntep. Tough take by the libero of Hyundai. Give credit to Sung Ha Lim. And it is all worth it as they get yet another point.
Well, you love watching, if the libero or your teammate gives a really, tough receive, they put that, they get the point. It's like, I got your back.
Yes,
your
of course.
efforts will not be in vain.
We have exchanges of 3-0 runs in the set number 3. Now it's a service error, the 5th in this match from Seung-Jun Lee.
We just said that they kind of check their errors in the service area. Guess not.
Misreception by Chu Young Park, but what a drop that was from Jae Hyun Lee.
It's like he's serving like as like a spark plug for Hyundai. Playing it smart. He saw the three-man block. Why challenge it? I can just go over it.
He has 8 points now in this game. Neil Sawai had to stretch for that one, and he got the point.
Imagine. I like what he said. He had to stretch for that. That was really far then because it's all 6'7" of him.
Right.
And he needed to stretch. 6'7" is not enough.
Still perfectly calculated by Kisada Neil Sawai. And the stretching now happens on the other end as Jin Young responds.
Tit for tat. Actually, you thought it was a gunner for Korea, but they still get the point.
5-all in set number 3. What a way for us to start the Alas Pilipinas Invitationals. Our national team will take on the representative of Indonesia later, as now it is another point for Thailand.
Yep, they've been going to the middles.
Quickness on display once more by Prapu, who has 5 points in this game. Good recognition by the setter to keep it alive. But Chu Young Park could not send that ball through.
I think he had the right thing in mind, but that delay, he was on his way down, so that changed his power tip there.
It's now 7-5. Amorthep, service error.
Well, Thailand has actually got to check their errors. Yeah, they had a lot of errors. Both teams actually 7 and 8.
Konhan himself has had 4 service errors in this match. Jaeon tried to go for power there. Another error. Is fatigue kicking in now for these guys inside the Araneta Coliseum? The toss was forward, but it still worked for Chaiwat. Off the rejection.
Oh, good save.
Back set now. Nice block.
You know, at the start of this match, in the first set, I thought that that Korea or Hyundai actually has the advantage in terms of blocking. But after the first set, you know, it was 2-0, then it became 3-2 in terms of blocking. In the second set, it was 5-1 in favor of Thailand. Now they're showing us that's their strength.
Now it's a rotation error. This is already their second in this game.
For coaches, that's a sight for sore eyes, really.
Well, you saw the reaction of Coach Fabio Storti. Unhappy about it. Had some clarification with his players afterwards. 10-6. This is now the largest lead in this set. Back roll. Rejection again. Seung-jun. Read well by the libero. D-ball. Checked at the net. Now to the middle. That is short for Tupadit.
Yeah. Rare, but yeah. Not too comfortable with that set.
There's the much needed side out by the Skywalkers. And it will be a service now for Jin Yong Kim. Another service error. That's their third in the set.
In the set. But that's one thing we noticed really in this match is they go for it. Their serves.
Well, isn't that the norm, especially in men's volleyball?
That's true. That's actually true.
Gotta load up.
Whoa!
Speaking of loading up, that was a loaded hit from Seung Jun.
You really appreciate the contact. Aside from the fact it was a one-on-one, but the sound really.
You know, that's one of the biggest things that we can say on air. If you really want to appreciate the sound of these hits, watch it live.
Yes.
Watch it live, especially in men's volleyball. As Mortep reaches the line.
Well, we have to say they are protecting their lead, Team Thailand here.
12-8 after that misread by Hyundai. Service in for Bunyarid. Seung Jun rejected. He's checked by Neil Sawai.
Well, Neil Sawai read that perfectly.
8 points now in the game for the 33-year-old. 13-8. Back inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum, Sir Ricky Palou joins us. Of course, one of our VIPs in Philippine volleyball. Very proud for organizing the Alas Invitationals, our trial run before the World Championship happens on September 12 to 28. So just about 3 months in, and Coach Tai Bundit, alongside the rest of us, will be able to witness the greatest that the world has to offer, as Mortep will get that point.
The way, the set was actually very close to the net, but how talented he is. It was Korea who actually had the net violation. You see the snap?
Yep.
To avoid the net.
Thailand is now pulling away, by the way, 14-8. This would be their largest lead in the game. Nice block again. Seung Jun, cross court. What a dig by the veteran libero in Tanapat.
Oh, it's a good dig on the other side.
It's by Sung Ha Lim. Now a chase and a whistle blown at the net. It's a violation by Neil Sawai.
Well, defense working for both these teams. You have to appreciate the effort. Great digging.
There's the net touch. Might have been by 2 players as well from Thailand. But still, they're up by 5. Seung Jun Lee with the serve. Great recognition there on the recovery by Hyundai. Oh, that was dangerous. Is the libero okay? I'm talking about Tanapat Charunsuk. Might have gotten hit by the knee of Chaiwat Tongkam.
Well, he's built to withstand these collisions.
Let's see what happened. So there's the save. Oh, there you go.
Ouch.
Got hit by the knee. I mean, you can be as hard as you can be in volleyball, but a knee is a knee.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And you can see the force actually moving forward, so it's direct impact.
But he's good to go. So,
Told you.
Tanapat Charunsuk.
Don't he's built for those collisions.
Yeah. Next play now for him. And he got the first ball.
Oh, great reaction time there.
Chance ball. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful play by Thailand.
Yeah, just so many options.
Look at that approach. See the 4 players ready for that set from Bunyarid.
And that slight delay in the blockers, you know, that opened up the space for Thailand.
And that's going to be a miscalculation by Jaeyeon. Lead back up to 6, matching the biggest in the game. Coach Fabio Storti, the Italian, looking for answers.
Well, they are seeking advice from the second referee in terms of position. They don't want another positional fault.
Service now for Anurak Phanram. Oh, 3-man block. Absolute rejection by Thailand.
And, you know, they were just waiting. Look how relaxed they are. They were just waiting and they get a stop block.
Make it 17-10 now. Biggest lead extended now to 7 points for the Hyundai Capitals Skywalkers against check that, for Thailand against Hyundai and Coach Fabio Storti. Thailand looking to continue with their momentum off of that timeout. And it was a nice serve from Anurak Phanram.
Yeah, it was well calculated. It just dropped. It was a short serve.
That puts him up onto double figures. Nice trajectory on that ball.
Yeah.
That was a perfect angle for it.
Oh, good save.
6-7 blockers battling it out. And then somebody came from the back. Anurak Phanram.
Well, they are just cruising here in set number 3. I think that second set loss kind of woke them up.
Yeah.
And they're now trying to stamp their class over this young Korean squad.
One can guess the words of Coach Park Ki-won. You're the national team of Thailand. You
Yeah.
cannot lose against the youngsters of Hyundai. But then again, these Skywalkers have showed us their potential. Let's see if the substitution can actually spark things up for them. We're seeing Won Gyun Song now, a 6'6" middle blocker. At 28 years old, he's the second eldest in this 10-man lineup for Coach Fabio Storti.
He's third. Is he third? No,
28.
28. Yeah.
Second eldest. Hang time there. And it works for Chaiwa Tongkam.
But they're just making do, you know? If they get a set they're not comfortable with, I'm still gonna do my job. I'm gonna put it down.
I was impressed though at how he moved his right arm.
Yeah.
Because he lowered it for a while before he put it up for that hit. And that's gonna be a moment that Hyundai will treasure. A point for Chan Hong Song. This guy is listed as a middle blocker, but then again, because of only having 10 players on their lineup, you know, lineup changes are
Yeah.
bound to happen.
They switch positions.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a natural middle blocker for you. Tupadit Fraput.
And I like the celebration. The shush celebration.
There you go. Quieting whoever he wants to quiet down here inside the Araneta Coliseum. Serve out though from his captain, Amorntep Konhan. They
Well,
do have an 8-point advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I was going to say they can't afford that.
Jaehyun. Oh, the nice first ball.
Oh,
Tough dig. It's still kept alive for a chance. Thailand to capitalize. They send it back to the open. And a point for Chaiwa Tongkam.
a great set. You know, the blockers was just dumbfounded. Who are we going to guard?
That's what happens when you were able to activate your middle blocker a while ago.
Yeah, the impact of that kill.
Unfortunately, it is another service error. But with a bit of a smile from Chaiwa Tongkam. 14 serving 22. Tall mountain to climb for Hyundai here in set number 3. Jun Yob Lee.
Good serve.
Check that. It was Jun Young Kim with a serve. And a point off the block for Seung Jun Lee.
Back-to-back points. That's what you want from them. Some sort of a rally here in the third set.
$15 serving 22. D-ball, lot
Oh,
of
what a
power there,
dig.
dug up by Jin Young Kim. Another denial by Thailand. Back set. Oh, miss hit, but it sailed in. What a sequence for the Skywalkers. But it is called illegal.
Look at Coach Fabio. He did admit to that.
Quite the struggle there from Chan Hong's son. It did look like he stepped on the 9. Yep, he did. Would have been a nice highlight for him.
Missed an opportunity.
Down by 8. New player in now. Assert Pinkao. Dug up by Amornthep. Back row. And that's going to be hard to save.
Yeah. Good effort though.
It is now a 9-point lead. 9 set points for Thailand in set number 3. Service error though from Assert Pinkao.
A couple of service errors here for Team Thailand in the third set.
Bae Jun Sol, the backup setter, serving that ball in. It was a supposed gift. And yes, there was a touch as well by Thailand, making it a point for the Skywalkers.
They saved 1 set point. They got a lot more to go.
That is Song Won Gyun getting his first point. Neil Sawai just saying, it's okay, we can move on. That's my error.
Yeah, it was just that flick of the wrist that wasn't there.
I like how he admitted it to his teammates though. And now it's another error from him. A while ago he was displaying a bit of a happier vibe. Now he's game face on. Talking about Neil Sawai. Didn't get the first ball this time. It's a back row hit. Hyundai to capitalize. Attack from the right. It's dug up. D-ball. Amornthep.
Wow.
He puts it away. And he will end set number 3.
Boy, creative. They're just getting so creative, Team Thailand. That looked like it was going to go to the net. But look at this. They're able to keep that ball in play.
That makes it a 6-point win in set number 3 for Thailand. They're up 2 sets to 1. It is now 2-1 in favor of Thailand versus Hyundai after winning set number 3, 25-19. That's their most dominant set so far in this matchup. And Noreen, I want to get your thoughts about their performance.
It was pretty much a wake-up call when they lost set number 2, and we saw the way they just controlled the pace of set number 3. It could have been a wider lead. You know, the score could have been farther, but they kind of relaxed a bit towards the end. Couple of errors here and there. So it was 19, but you know, Thailand just had actually full control of set number 3. And if you look at the numbers, attacks actually surprising, just by 1, but the blocking working for Thailand. That shows again the strength in their game. Errors 7 and 9. That's the thing with men's volleyball. A lot of these errors actually come from the service area. So we saw that in all of the sets. So if you're Korea, you want to check that. You want to get your serves in. That's a big, I mean, that's very important for them. They want to push this to a 5th set.
We always say, high risk, high reward. But now, let's see if Hyundai can turn things around and send us into a set number 5 to give us that perfect opening for the Alas Invitationals here in Cubao. Again, this is our preparation for the Volleyball Men's World Championship happening on September 12 on to 28. We have the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, Triple Crown champions of South Korea, taking on the Thailand national team. And then later on, the representative from Indonesia, Jakarta Bayangkara Persisi, will take on the Mark Espejo-led Alas Pilipinas. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Noreen Go. And the action is coming to you live from the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Reach from the middle. Amontep overcooked that one.
Well, we did notice a lot of errors. Actually, in this match, it's when they relax. When they're too relaxed, that's when they commit the errors.
For Amontep, though, that was his first unforced error off of an attack at the net, and that's going to be an easy drop for Kisada Nilsawai.
That's like a no-brainer. If you give an overpass and Nilsawai is there by the net, it's like, see ya.
1-1 here in set 4. Another rejection. Nilsawai starting a lot better compared to how he ended set number 3.
But because we've seen so many games that if you have a comfortable lead, some players tend to relax and relax too much.
From the open, another block by Thailand. Now at the opposite. No point there for Chan Hong Son. Counter from the back. Thailand wants a touch. Even Coach Park Ki-won is convinced about it.
Well, they are tall players, so chances are there was a touch, but wasn't called. So point for Hyundai.
And Coach Park already gave us that gesture that he's willing to let it go. 2-2 here in set 4. Service for Song Chan Hong. Open hit. A lot of power from Chaiwat.
Good save.
And a chance ball given to Thailand, but it sailed outside.
That's gotta hurt. I mean, good chase, and then they hit it wide. Wasted opportunity.
Great recognition, though, by the libero in Tanapat to let it go.
Good serve.
Back row. And a point off the block for the leading scorer of Hyundai. 21 points now for Lee Seung-jun.
21?
Yes.
Wow.
The challenge is the next leading scorer only has 9 for Hyundai. That is Lee Jae-hyun. While on the other end, we already have 4 players with at least 9 points for Thailand.
Yeah, we can see pretty balanced scoring there for Team Thailand.
Now we're seeing Tupadit Fraput also trying to get into the mix. That is his 7th point in the match. Wow, what a serve. Amornthep Konhan, the captain of the Thailand national team, now with 15 points. That's going to be his 2nd service ace in the game.
Can't get any better than that.
And he gets back-to-back aces. That is how it can get better. Yeah, what a display from Amornthep, who just got 2 thumbs up from his head coach Park Ki-won. Let's see the 2nd straight service ace from the captain, Amornthep. This time, it found 2 arms, but it still sailed outside off of the reception. Again with power, almost another ace. And a chance ball for Thailand. He sent it to the left. Back onto the same attacker, and now it is Chaiwa Tongkam delivering the goods.
Well, Thailand continuing where they left off in set number 3. They're trying to race to a comfortable advantage.
7-3. Their biggest lead in the match was 9. And now it's a block. Bunyarit Wongtorn, the center who has impressed us all game long. Now adding on to his point tally, that's his 3rd block in the game.
You know, sometimes when you think the centers are smaller, no? So we say relatively smaller than the 6-7 middle blockers that we're seeing from both teams. We fail to realize they're good blockers as well.
Yes. And you know, Bunyarit is a good 6'1". That's pretty good for a setter, which is something that we value a lot, by the way, in the Philippines, having a tall setter. That's why in Alas Pilipinas now we're able to appreciate the fact that Joshua Retamar is there, even Eko Adahar is there. Wow. Man, what a set for Amornthep Konhan. He's owning this game slowly but surely.
Yeah. I mean, showing us from the back, from the front, same result.
17 points, 10 attacks, 4 blocks, 3 aces for Konhan in this game. That time around, he cannot give us the dig.
Well, he got a hand at that. That was fast, but he still got a hand at that.
A point for Jin Young. 5-9. Hyundai still alive here. Lee Junyob. Another 6-1 setter for us on the serve. Ooh, the target was Amornthep.
Oh,
You know what impressed me there was the fact that Amornthep was already being hidden by the defense of Thailand, and yet he was still the one who got the first ball.
yeah. Well, we have to say, Korea's want to chase here and try to push this to a 5th set.
A misreception.
What a save.
This will be a chance. Junyob to make it all worth it. Back row hit. Great elevation. And there's the spark plug that we have been talking about, Lee Jae-hyun. Great elevation to trim the lead down to 2, 7-9 here in set 4. We're seeing the setter of the Thailand national team. That is Bunyarid Wongtorn. And their libero right now, Tanapat Sharon Suk. They have impressed us all game long. But right now it is a 3-0 run by Junyob Lee and the rest of the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers in set number 4. Can they continue with their momentum? Oh, what a hit down the line target for Anurak Panram.
He has been quiet till late.
Able to dodge the blocker.
Yes.
A nice side out for the Thai team. Junyub had to track back for that one, and it's all worth it as the top scorer now gets his 23rd point in this game, Lee Seung-jun.
And Nils Hawaii was actually there, but yeah, look at that. Great targeting.
Might as well challenge the other blocker, not Nils Hawaii.
Yeah.
Tough first ball, Nils Hawaii rejected. Nice net defense by Hyundai.
Whoa,
Now the floor
dig.
defense is effective. Chan Hong, low. Yep, it's gonna be 4 touches.
Oh, but you know, wasted opportunity because again, those are great defensive stops.
Can you observe the bit of awkwardness on the approach by Son Chan Hong? The one who I mentioned is naturally a middle blocker attacking from the opposite.
It was also that ball was actually very near and fast going to the net. So every time, you know, that happens, the players, they're distracted because they don't want to hit the net. Number one, they don't want to cross or get injured, and they don't want to hit the net.
9-11, Nils Hawaii outside. Coach Fabio Storti helping out our linesman as well.
Well, then, they will take the errors of Team Thailand. Well, they're doing a good job in keeping this set close.
Lead cut down to 1. Largest was 5 a while ago in this set. From the open, got a touch. It's a point for Lee Jae-hyun, and now we have a deadlock.
I remember in the first 2 sets, it was very close. And Hyundai actually won set number 2 because of that. Little errors here and there from Thailand. That's what you want to do here in set number 4.
Skywalkers are trying to wake us all up inside the big dome. Can they give us a set number 5 to begin the Alas Invitationals? Back set. And it is outside. But our first referee is saying that there was a touch. Now, Hyundai is just finding out about it. As expected, the Skywalkers are arguing for it. They were getting ready for their next serve already.
Yeah, they were celebrating, but that's the thing, without a challenge, you have to rely on the first referee's decision.
Jeffrey Lopez just standing his ground. Coach Fabio Trying to fraternize with our linesman as well, but it's not going to be enough. It is a point for Thailand.
Yeah, because it is a close set, and even though we're still in the middle, that could be crucial.
Yes. Could that be a momentum swinger? Well, Thailand will get a point off of that hit by Chaiwa Tongkam. The challenge here for Hyundai is to lift their spirits up. After that unfortunate sequence, they're down by 2. As you can see, Coach Fabio Storti is still trying to sort things out with the referees at the side. They were unhappy with that previous call. They thought they got a point off of a mishit by Thailand, but it was ruled as a check ball. It is now 13-11 in set number 4. Thailand still up.
Yeah.
And now it's a miscue.
That's what we're saying. The impact of that call. They could have actually had the lead or tied the game, but they lose the point. And then now, you see, now it's our 3-point advantage.
Can't let that bother you moving
Yes.
forward. And for a young team, this is going to be one true test. Now they get a point. A much needed side out courtesy of Lee Jae-hyun.
What's his height?
He is 6'1".
It's confusing. It's because the middles are just so tall.
Yeah, he looks small from our standpoint. Battle at the net. And the 6'7" guy will prevail.
Again, height is might for Nil Sawai.
Nil Sawai, on the other hand, doesn't look 6'7" to me. He looks 6'10" to me.
Oh.
Now it's an ace, and he puts the finger up to celebrate about it.
You know, he has adjusted his serve, you know, a couple of errors in set 1, but then great serving.
That's 12 points now in the game for the star middle blocker of the Thailand national team. He's been the best middle blocker in the Thai league 7 times. And he is a big part of that SEA Games campaign in the 2010s of Thailand when they dominated it. Oh, what a save! And it's all worth it. My goodness.
A for effort from Hyundai.
We gotta give shout-outs here. So, the libero. There you go with the pancake save. That's Sung-ha Lim. And of course, the hit by Lee Jae-hyun. Down by 3 in set 4. That's inside.
Oh.
We're starting to see more antics, by the way, here in set number 4.
Well, you know, if Hyundai goes on to lose this 4th set, it's over. So they need to kind of pump themselves up.
Libero getting the first ball for Thailand. Amortep will respond. It's the leaders of Thailand now stepping up to answer the call.
Because we know these are athletes. Athletes, technically, they don't want to lose.
Yes. 17-14. Amortep Konhan now with 18 markers in this game. Over reception. Amortep attacks.
Oh, what a dig.
Again, it's Sung-ha Lim keeping it alive. From the open, that was Chaiwat. And the counter will come from the leading scorer of Hyundai, Lee Seung-jun, now with 24 points.
Boy, these digs, all worth it. They get the point. Just a 2-point game.
Lim Song-ha just keeping his team alive. (15 serving 17). Back set, Amortep. The dig, that's gonna go to our patron section.
Oh, he's stepping on the gas here in the fourth set, Amortep.
You know, when I was researching about this Thailand national team, I was confused because when you would normally see the credentials of a team captain, they're the ones with awards. Amortep did not have anything, at least when I researched about him. But as you can see, he's the leader of this Thai squad. As they get another point, it's Anurak Phandram delivering.
Well, sometimes, you know, you don't have to win awards to show your worth as
Yeah.
a captain.
That is out. Ultra wide for Chaiwat Tongkam. Although he's had a nice game as well for himself, scoring 11. Let me just give you the 4 top scorers of Thailand.
Okay.
Konhan Amortep has 19. Then it's 15 for Phandram, 12 for Nil Sawai, and 11 for Tongkam. Well distributed by
Yeah.
this young man, Bunyarid. That's going to be point number 16 for Anurak Phandram.
Well, they're trying to build on their lead.
Five target, no problem for the 6-footer. Now we have Pinkau Prasert in the game. He was actually a Thai League 2023 best middle blocker. No more recovery there for Chaiwat Tongkam, and a point for Hyundai.
You know this number 23?
Yes.
His contact with the ball, it always sounds so nice when he goes up to hit it.
I think he has the potential to become a fan favorite here in
Yeah.
the Philippines.
Look at that serve.
How about that? The wall was broken down by Chaiwat Tongkam. Let's see the replay. That back row hit. He's able to get it through with his power. This is now Bunyarid Wongtorn with a service ace. 4 points in the game alongside his numerous excellent sets.
He's doing it all sides of the court. Front, back, everywhere.
And they're pulling away. Up by 5 now, 22-17 in set number 4.
Well, for Hyundai Capital Skywalkers, they want one final push here.
Great save by Tanapat.
Oh!
How about that effort by the setter Bunyarid? Will it be all worth it though? Tanapat keeping it alive. Chaiwat to the right. Amortep is rejected.
But what a save there. Football in the house.
And even Coach Park Hee-won gave us a round of applause. There you see Tanapat, the star libero of the Thailand national team at 34 years old. He's beaming with a lot of pride here inside the Big Dome.
A couple of good saves on his end.
Target, Nil Sawai. Amortep down the line, dug up, battle at the net. And it is going to be the 6-1 Lee Jae-yoon who gets it through.
That's what we're saying. That one final push from Hyundai.
Thailand calls for time. Just want to make sure as they try to protect their 3-point advantage. Kisada, Nilsawai, and company are 3 points away from winning this matchup against Lee Jae-yoon and the rest of Hyundai. Skywalkers trying to give us a comeback in set number 4. Nilsawai reaches for it.
Another chance.
Back row hit, and that is long for Lee Seung-jun. And they again contesting the call of our first referee, but they won't prevail.
Boy, you have to say Thailand's getting the better
Of the calls.
appreciating.
23-19. Junyuk to the middle. And that's a punch down from Song Won-gyun.
Well, they're not out of it. They're just down by 3, but they have to score consecutively here.
Perfectly manageable though. We've seen a lot of 3-point comebacks already, having covered numerous games in Philippine volleyball. Nilsawai rejected on the 1-on-1, but it sailed outside. A point for Kisada Nilsawai.
Again, it amazes me to think that he is 33 years old.
The legend himself will be serving for the match. 24-20. Junyub. Oh, great elevation by Lee Jae-hyun.
They're not done yet.
And he will have to continue serving up until they reach 25 if they want a chance to win this game.
Couple
Change
of
in middle
aces.
blockers.
Couple of aces, maybe.
Maybe. Lee Jae-hyun. Oh, not a service error. That's gonna end it. A 4-set win for the Thailand national team against the Hyundai Capital Skywalkers.
Well, it is the first game, you know, of Hyundai Capital Skywalkers. Pretty impressive. A lot of things to learn from. Service errors is one, but boy, their defense has actually impressed us really good Thailand. But yeah, Thailand just showing us they're the more mature team. They're the veterans. They're a national team, and
They really switched it up after their set 2 loss. You saw the big difference. You've been mentioning the blocking all game long. Very impressive from the Thais. And they will want to carry that momentum as they still have 2 more games. Of course, Alas Pilipinas is waiting, and the Jakarta Bayakara Persisi Volleyball Club from Indonesia.
a lot of volleyball for Team Philippines for Alas this year. This is the start of many more, like the CB League,
Yeah,
ABC in Bahrain,
the SEA Games as well.
SEA Games as well. The World Championships in September. That's one to look out.
Again, that is September 12 to 28. The reason why we're having this Alas Pilipinas Invitationals is to prepare for that world stage, the FIVB Volleyball Men's World Championship. It is a 4-set victory for Thailand against Hyundai. The final tally for set 4 is 25 to 21. It was quite the discussion actually for us here as to who will be the best player of the game. So walk us through your thoughts, Noreen, about your selection.
I mean, because of great ball distribution, the setter was a perfect choice, but towards the end, we did mention it was the team captain who does have a lot of awards to his name. So we want to give it to him. No, because he actually took charge and gave them the victory, not just in offense, but also in defense. So yeah, he actually deserves to be the player of the game.
It's 19 big-time points from Dep Conhan. 12 attacks, 4 blocks, and 3 aces. Mike Lee saying that's not including, of course, the tour defense, and he also was able to contribute and the intangibles like the leadership that he put out on the floor. But we also want to give shout-outs to a couple of his teammates. Of course, the middle blocker was very impressive in Kisada Nilsawai. The setter is Bunyarid Wongtorn, Anurak Fanram, and Chaiwa Tungkam also had very important contributions scoring-wise.
Yeah, they're showing us why they are the national team, why they're number 60 They're actually looking to try to win some goals in the SEA Games that has been plaguing the Thai volleyball program. This is the stepping stone.
This is our match statistics. Look at the blocking, Noreen. Just absolutely dominated by Thailand.
Exactly. I mean, by 10. Again, at the start of this match, you thought that was strength of Hyundai, but nope, it's not their strength. It's Thailand's strength with 14 monster blocks, attacks even, aces by 2, errors. You don't want to see errors, but I mean, you have to give it to this Thai national team. It wasn't perfect, but what's important is after the second set loss, they got their bearings and they won 2 straight.
So there you have it, the first 2 teams in our Alas Invitationals. Up next, we have the last 2 teams of the 4 to be featured in our tournament. It will be Jakarta Bayangkara Persisi representing Indonesia against Alas Pilipinas. This will happen at 7:30 p.m. So we have time to actually eat our dinner before we proceed with our national team against the representatives of Indonesia. Thank you for joining us. From Maringo, my name is Migs Gomez. And again, stay tuned for our next game at 7:30.